Bad mouse. Yes, DPI set to 2400. That's much better. Okay. Welcome back to Chaos. As we continue. And we're gonna have a cutscene right away, because cutscenes are good. They're a good time. Who doesn't love a good cutscene?
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
January, 6:37 a.m. on the board of a ship.
Of a boat. We're on a boat.
Of a ship. Oh.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover
British.
what events led to this.
It's
curious
Sholmes!
Pray, do excuse me.
British!
The cabin door was bolted from
Yeah.
the inside when the man was killed. No marks
No, but
to
like
suggest the bolt
extra
was tainted
British
in any way.
sounding.
Yeah, he is.
So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle.
Why is it upset? It's
So the
crying?
victim was a
No,
Russian
it's because
man.
it's tipped over.
And the letters
I
on the
know.
forward,
I'm being funny.
suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
He's got a gun!
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
Is this the Russian man?
Before maritime police come.
No.
That won't.
He doesn't show up for a bit.
You see, in less than 5
They've got a
seconds
bit
from
of an
now,
accent going
I
on, that's
reveal
why I
the
asked.
killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
There he is.
Who are you, and where have you come from? I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Funniest character in the game. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm like typing, so I can't like read it. Just keep pressing the space bar.
You're good.
Like I know who's speaking. I'm just like Yep. I can't move. Ta-da!
Did he get accused of murder again?
Yes. Yes, he did. you,
Like Maya all over again. I don't know who that is, so I'll do a neutral voice.
That's him.
Oh, okay. We have dragged you here out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man.
You found me then? Duh.
Yeah. We found you. Now you pay criminal. And Ryunosuke is like, again? I'm dealing with this again?
Uh-huh. Keep in mind the
How
grate in the
long-
ceiling.
The grate, oh yeah.
It's
How
important.
long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe?
Ugh, sorry.
No. You have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Did you make an announcement?
I'm
You want me
working
to-
on. That's what I'm typing right now. That's why I'm just pressing the space bar. I'm not gonna read his lines for now. I'm just gonna focus on typing.
I'll just read the sailor's lines. There's only one way at thing.
I think that's Sholmes.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah, I think that's Sholmes.
Yeah, that's definitely Sholmes. Nope, never mind. It's her.
No, it's her.
Why
What?
did you do it? Why did you take his life? I literally was just with you during another case. Why am I blaming you for murder? I don't know.
Case. That's the word I'm looking for. Wow,
You
my
press
brain
enter.
is working.
Hold on, it's loading.
It's
I
just
can't
dots.
see it.
It's just dots. Where is he? Bonding
Oh
over pain.
no!
Where's
Oh
Kazuma?
no!
She's like, bruh, you don't know? You just did it.
Ha! You pretend you don't know. You are a wolf in sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. Did
Lies.
we ever
I'm just a
confirm,
stowaway.
like, did we confirm that he's dead, Did we confirm anything?
I have no clue what they did or didn't confirm at this point, honestly. What?
Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago.
I'm gonna make her sad sounding.
Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside.
His body?
Please. Do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. I mean, that's possible.
No. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I
have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me! Please!
No.
Not again!
It fills the whole text box!
No! Not my partner!
You, not Kazuma!
No, not my sweet
It
Kazuma
was
boy.
just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble?
Don't worry about a protagonist. I definitely won't die.
You find it fun.
Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? Unless you, bought a ticket to the boat. I mean, you could have
Because
saved
he wasn't
up.
supposed to go there at all. It was really something
Oh.
else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor, I thought I was gonna die.
Yes, I still can't believe quite believe it. I thought they would have opened you up, you know, checked the bags, and I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. This is making me feel this is making me get a vibe from a certain anime that I used to watch a while ago. One of the characters literally fit the main character into a trunk. A suitcase. In an anime, there was a character that fit another character into a suitcase.
I mean, I've put a person inside of a cooler before. For context, the cooler was open and he volunteeed, but he fit. He fit.
Out of context, I put someone in a cooler. You must be even less of a man than you look. I'm
Hey.
definitely not saying you're a bottom, basically.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body.
Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain.
Then you-
Unless I die in this stead.
So we've got about 50 days until you gotta get back in the car, in the trunk, is what I hear.
But if you confine yourself to my cabin, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Not by chance of detectives thinking you killed me. Not at all.
I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway.
No, that is true. We don't like stowaways here. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. They definitely won't be accusing you of murdering me later on in the week. In the weeks to come.
What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady?
To make you keep asking questions.
Because she has a crush on you. Duh.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
duh.
From our faithful judicial assistant, Miki Toba, right? You mean... I have to name drop for those who didn't... if people are coming back after weeks of play. But we're doing this literally a day after the last case.
Weeks of play? Uh-oh, what's going on
Some people, like, they play the game and then they come back, like, a week later. So...
From your close friend, more to the point, surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away.
No, but if she knew what we've done, that would make her guilty by association. Which definitely won't come into play later. It's best that only you and I know about this.
Apparently Blue Sif is, like, just busy with every little thing this week. Because he's like, I might miss this too. Or maybe I can actually show up. I'm like, bro. Sir.
Just say yes or no, bro. That's it.
I suppose so. No, phone, don't do that. There we go.
Anyway, it's about time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. Alright, go hide in the closet.
Pretty much.
Look, let me know when something bad happens, please. I have the perfect phrase for it. My sister
good
knows
lord.
exactly what I'm thinking of.
Oh, stop it.
I have it in my head, I can't get it out.
I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there. I think it won't be for long. Like, cuts to an hour later. Anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. So, wait a second, there's only one bed. Does he, like, sleep on the floor or something? Or, like, they take turns in the bed? Like, what's going on?
No, I think he literally sleeps in the closet there.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe the joke about them being a gay couple wasn't really a joke.
Oh my
Bro.
lord. Oh my lord.
I don't know. At this point, I would believe it.
No, it's definitely
Anyways, that's your
fake.
line.
It's definitely fake. I know it is. Yeah, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it.
Stop worrying. I'll make sure she doesn't open it. Why don't you... I tell you what. Why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper?
What?
And then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside.
I don't know.
So, no...
We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together.
I don't know, that seems a little sus. We leave you at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. It would be awfully convenient if there was a judge, like, on the boat too, and they just have a court case here.
That's not
More
exactly
terror.
what happens, but
It would be funny though.
it would, but that's not quite it. No! I'm not a murderer!
You said before, you said you admit everything about your crimes.
When did he say that?
What?
No! That's not right! Okay, I gotta hold on a minute. Yeah, it only goes back to a certain point. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend?
No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. There's a freaking grate in the ceiling.
Just
It'd
wait.
have to be a woman, or a really small man, but someone could have done it.
Susato-san.
Don't talk to me, filthy man.
Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there's something I'd like to ask you too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. Oh yeah, she tosses him a ton. Like, literally just judo throws him. I don't know why. She just does. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. These handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean? I still gotta figure out how to voice Sholmes.
Just do a British accent. That's it.
Yeah, but my British accent still sounds like a girl.
Oh, you need me to do it? Hold on. Hold on.
No,
Where's the-
No, she
no.
called dibs.
It's
no,
my
she called
character.
dibs.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright. Jeez.
You could do the one guy that's in the picture of the one dude.
Which one?
The one the
Alright.
guy said.
Just let me.
Soseki?
Yeah, he could
Mr.
be
Natsume?
If you want,
Yeah.
if you want me to be just let me know.
He
Definitely.
definitely gives off whiny British man.
Oh, I see
He
how
is
it
a
is.
whiny
I
British
see.
man.
Oh, okay.
Or no,
That's
no,
not
he's a
what I'm
whiny
saying about
Japanese
you.
man.
I'm just saying.
He's a
Sorry,
whiny Japanese.
man.
He's a whiny
He looks
Japanese
more
man.
British than Japanese.
He's from
Yes,
Japan,
the
but he's
more-
in England.
The more and more I hear you two talk around the same time, the more and more you sound like each other.
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the wow,
It's like she's completely ignoring the grate in the ceiling.
It is important. It will get pointed out later.
And the bolt on the door
Am I
can't be
right,
operated from...
I'm gonna lock my door real quick just in case.
I did that to him on purpose.
What'd you do?
I disconnected him.
Yeah, I
Oh.
saw that.
I didn't even know you.
In other
With
words,
OBS running, I can't hear it.
Yeah, I made him leave.
after the crime, the culprit can have escaped these four walls.
That's not true.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit could have only been inside could have been somebody inside the cabin.
Yeah, he just committed suicide.
Or do you have some other explanation?
Yeah, the grate in the ceiling.
Also,
The obvious grate right behind you.
Yes,
the
very obvious grate.
a person cannot fit inside that. That's way too small.
Is
But
this-
the
Maybe
from
it
the
wasn't a
cutscene when Sholmes was introduced, he said that the message was written in Russian. Do we know if Kazuma knows Russian?
I don't think so. The only mentions of like languages he's learned or knows of is English, because he's mentioned English classes with Ryunosuke.
Yep.
And
Obviously Japanese. because
Obviously he knows Japanese because it's his native tongue.
Yeah. It's time to
So
see if we can figure this out. I already know. I know how it ends, but to see if people can figure it out before the game reveals it, because it's not
I think
what you
it's the
expect.
big buff man.
It's not. I'll tell you that much right now. It's neither of those two. And also, she's a complete fangirl.
What?
She's a complete Sholmes fangirl.
This girl?
Yes. Yes.
Oh no.
Specifically comics. So like the cutscene at the very start has to do with like some sort of novel or comic or something that someone else makes about Sholmes. This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Yes!
Are you still denying the charge? Even despite the circumstances?
Duh. Please, Sano-san,
Did nobody
you have
check
to
under
tell
the bed?
me.
Did nobody check under the bed?
No.
At
To my
all?
knowledge, no.
Well, they could have hid under the bed. There's other places somebody could hide.
The cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died.
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience.
This is a doctor.
Again, did we confirm that he's dead?
I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably, that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then.
That's true, yes.
Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably, that's something you know the answer to before anyone else.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but
He would always wake up before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning.
why do you know that?
I have a question here. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage.
That's not creepy.
Like I said, I have a question here. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. How do I know that? I don't know.
Maybe it was her! No, I'm kidding. Does that mean he was already dead when Sato-san arrived at his cabin door? I wonder.
I knocked, but there was no reply. I began worried, so I went to find members of the crew. I almost said staff, but crew. The crewman forced the door open, and when we managed to get inside,
Bleh.
there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor.
His invisible fan no longer functioning.
No!
The fan wasn't working? How dare they?
And the white tape now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard to believe for me, too. Trust me.
Now, I've told you everything that I know. Now open your lips and tell me what I want to know.
Pretty much.
So it's my turn to ask you a question, protagonist.
Yes, alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything.
Why are you on board the ship, Naruto-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
He was involved.
No, that would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
That sounds a little sus.
Bruh! Oh my...
He actually asked you why?
I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself.
I don't understand.
Too bad, neither do I. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you?
Free healthcare.
It's an idea that's been on my mind since the end of that incredible trial. My fan's on! I think I told you then, didn't
The
I?
invisible fan is working!
I ought to become you ought to become a lawyer yourself.
Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious.
You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that.
But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. What are you studying for, boy?
Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. England has a lot of opportunities. Oh yeah, London is at the spearhead of cultural development. The center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there?
Well, no, definitely not.
Just in case, they have to do an interview assignment that requires me to look somewhat fancy, like I'm trying to interview for a job, so just in case I'm gonna leave call. If this link I'm about to open my camera, I wanna look fancy for this, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay,
But
then.
on a personal level, it's an assignment.
I know, I don't know why he had to mention so much about it.
If you were to become a lawyer,
Then, what?
Nothing. Forget it. Mayhaps he worked with this quote-unquote murderer into escaping and giving him some time to, you know, think about if he wants to be a lawyer or not.
Nope.
Well, that's my theory right now.
Kazuma-sama is... He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
Yeah, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean.
If I know, Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me. To avoid me becoming guilty by association.
Yeah, those exact words.
That's exactly right, yes. Wow. Word perfect, in fact.
Wow, it's like I said.
It's like you read his
Last
dead
night.
mind.
If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night?
One.
Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into the wardrobe over there, just like I always did. Yeah, he was sleeping in there the whole time. After that, I
Fell asleep?
well, yes.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed.
Well, yeah. We'll see why later. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I had woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything.
Really?
Is something wrong?
No, please forgive me. Forget it.
Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it.
One second.
You're fine.
I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this.
Again, there's other hiding spots in this room.
Now, how to do a British guy.
British.
British.
You just go. You do a regular like British accent and then go a little deeper.
Hello, Mike.
That's more Australian.
I don't know,
yes.
man. Yeah. Like I said, when I do a British accent, it's clearly feminine.
It's more like, hello, love. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No, that you kind of did sound a little British, the masculine there.
We'll figure it out. Say I'm British, but very, very, very little. It's more German and Polish. I can hear the dog.
Sorry, gather doggies.
Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere.
Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. You could kill another.
I'm sorry,
On a bed.
but Cosmo was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it, and now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
Hey. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Cosmo's life and how they did it, or how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Throw! What the...
That was a Susato takedown.
Susato... What? What martial art form is that?
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry? Prove it?
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence.
What do we even have right now?
Wrong button. It is it.
Well,
that's it. Then just the two of them. But how am I supposed to...
Have you forgotten already that you achieved just a few weeks ago?
But
And I
you
believed you then! Why am I not believing you now?
I'm sorry, but you won't let me leave. How am I supposed to gather evidence if you won't even let me leave the room? Or even look around? Like I moved.
You successfully defended yourself in court.
Ah, I see.
Do it again,
She's expecting me to
dingus.
present some conclusive evidence. I got you, Kazuma, my pen, and a paper. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now
I mean,
that proves
how
I'm not...
did the... Yeah,
What?
the steal, because he couldn't have put it on himself.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Yes, it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well.
How could I have been so blind and dumb? Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled and signed off the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
I mean, yeah, he does got a point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's quite true. Will that hold up in court? I don't know.
Well, this ain't court, it's a boat. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma.
Well, even if we're sprawling and hopeless on the floor, I can see why Cosmo-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up?
of that evidence. I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here, at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me?
I'm
Bro.
sorry. No.
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
What? Bro. What does she think I am? A magician? Are you?
Fine. For now, I suggest you investigate thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same.
Alright, let's get to work, Susanoo-san.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh.
I shall be watching you to make sure you don't do anything that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
Please, I'm not Giselle Brett. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. A broken piece of glass.
Glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like it looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener for a kimono outfit.
I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried out a cute little trinket around like this around with him, would he?
A mark beside it. What it is, I wonder. It looks sort of... It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It is the
like-
color of brick, isn't it?
It looks like the shape of a feather, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Bruh.
Oh dear, that won't do.
I only investigate one thing. Oh, what's the matter, Susanoo-san?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly.
Ah, yes, that's not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regards. Are you, Naruhodo-sana?
Well, this is his first time investigating a crime scene, so it's just a tutorial thingy.
I'm sure you're careful to look
Blah,
around.
blah,
using-
blah, blah. Yeah, use the arrow keys. Or the letter. Yeah, use the keys. Basically do that. Click on these.
I think it's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to. You're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that?
I suppose. Maybe that's it.
I don't like the implications of that.
This is, yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book. Fiona, that's pathetic! I was studying a book I was studying that talked about the life in Great Britain. Shh! Hey! Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Really? That sounds almost magical.
Hmm.
Shall we give it a little try? I thought it was her for a second.
No, I know.
Yes. In the interests of cultural research, of course. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
That's a...
No, I'm sure that it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. Let's see. This... There we go. That's gotta be important. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Bureau. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all the passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking.
Oh no, she's gonna say something mean.
Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet?
Pet. I can
Bruh.
tell. It's pet than
It's
dangerous
pet. Oh my
object.
God.
He's got golden retriever energy.
He does.
Naruhodo?
Yeah, he does.
Ryunosuke, protagonist? I can't decide. I would examine the bookshelf when you get a second.
I will. I'm going to be examining all sorts of stuff. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well.
Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything's mown down at once.
I wonder if... Perhaps it was Cosmos doing his sword training.
It literally just said don't bring dangerous weapons.
Yep, but his sword's over here. You can't see it right now, but it's over there.
I see the little butt of it, yeah.
Oh, that's what that is. I seriously doubt it.
I call it butt, but basically.
No, I didn't realize that was part of the sword at first.
And perhaps...
It was you!
It was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage.
He has no motive!
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
I would leave it. Well, okay then.
I can't control what the NPC does.
Look at the desk.
Yeah.
This is where dear Cosmo-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. I definitely have a crush on him.
London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination.
Sorry, I was turning something off.
You're fine.
It looks as though the last entry is incomplete.
I wonder why.
Right? Which means what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. And we're back on the floor. What?
Kazuma-sama may have the part of this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it.
You're not allowed to. I will later.
Right?
Poor Kazuma-sama. My dear.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important?
Have they confirmed what word it is?
Nope. We have no clue
That's
what
a
it
very
says.
large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
That's how I got on the ship.
That's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case.
Yes, I see. It says this way up in Japanese.
Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here.
Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
No, it's not.
It's not supposed to be romantic. Well, it was less
They mean
painful
romantic
than
as in-
a Susato takedown.
They mean romantic as in like not dreamy, but like a deep desire or something. Like it sounds fascinating and fun to do, but it's forbidden, like a taboo thing. That's what they mean when people say romantic, not in the love sense.
Okay. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the ink from the desk when he collapsed on the floor.
Again, it's not confirmed quite yet.
Then I suppose he read the message by dripping his fingers in the spillage.
Or, and they pulled the first game, and the killer wrote down something. Oh, sorry, spoilers for the first game.
I mean, hang on.
The game's like clearly a decade plus old.
Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine.
Are you looking it up?
No, I was gonna message you on Discord. But now I have to go through all these different notifications at the same time. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing.
Hold on, I was looking at something.
You're fine.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san.
What? Then what language is it?
It's Russian.
It pains me to admit that I don't know.
It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Hello!
Wait, what? Wait, why did we not notice him before?
He just showed up. Like, he just kind of magically appears every once in a while. Like that. Like,
Oh,
It's so... I don't know.
Valor, that is pathetic.
that's you.
I know. Hang on. There
Still
we
debating
go.
on what to do.
No, I'm still trying. I'm typing.
Oh,
Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European.
Oh, how did he... So, are we gonna go talk to him, or...
You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall.
Doug, stop whining! Oh, baby! You were behind my chair, I couldn't see you! Bro, can you take them? I think they're
Yeah.
whining for you.
Yeah, I got it. You're right there. Please get here. Get here.
Naruto-san, don't tell me! You killed another man!
Oh, and we get the
Do you really not
fangirling.
know who that is?
I think.
Get up here. Get up here.
Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him, and he is... Is he investigating Kazuma's desk or just playing on it? I can't tell. See?
You must have him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
She's just like shaking a little, like.
By the way, I expected that you would have noticed already, but just in case.
I would finish investigating before we talk to him.
Come on, up
You
here.
press space and then
Blah, 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 blah. Something about the suspiciously tall guy.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
say blah, blah, blah.
I would finish examining everything
Yeah, I would
first.
too. Yeah, because you can... Sword.
That's Cosmos' most precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet.
Hmm.
There we go. Check a cotton my blanket.
Did I miss my voice lines?
No,
You don't
you're good. You don't have any yet. I mean, you could be the big burly Russian guy if you want, because there's another crewman. There's
Yeah, I can see
another
that.
crewman. Not him. That's mine. I can do that guy.
I can probably come up with a Russian accent. That's not that bad.
Yeah, you just go like this and a
Yes.
little.
You talk like you from Mother Russia.
Basically. Let her speak.
That's
her
my
language.
dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
Well, obviously, if you look at the table,
Yeah, I
the
know.
cloth is messed up.
But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
Oh no! Does that mean... Or Kazuma-sama spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? Oh, it's just too horrible.
Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach.
Alright, now look at the knife.
Oh.
Oh, I guess it was the same thing.
I'm just gonna skip through.
I guess look at the table and then the crewman.
My first thought is lamest excuse, Blue. Yeah. Yeah, they're part of the same thing.
There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kasa.
No.
Why did I forget how to say his name? I don't get it. Why now?
Right? Segi. The Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma.
Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Great! Yet you can really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully.
Of
You
course I
murderer.
can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on the ship.
Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win.
I would talk with the guy.
No.
When I went for help, the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed, but
It's quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy. It just slides across to secure the door shut, but still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure.
you're proving my point.
It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense and up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they are sealed together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
Bruh, she looks angry. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything, actually.
I think you just talked to the two dudes.
Oh, not the ink bottle, but the ink bottle just has to do with that. Oh, what? I was trying to get the bottle, but... What the heck was...
The bottle was connected with the writing. That was my brother.
I'm playing
Is
with
it?
the dog.
Oh, yeah, you must be right. Well, I don't see the need to talk to him at all, if I'm being honest.
I don't know if it's needed.
He'll talk to us later. On his own. Alright, now
Alright, I guess it's
now to completely
Sherlock
fail.
Holmes' turn.
Time to completely fail at being British. Excuse me.
British?
Shaw! Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation.
That sounds good. What are you talking about?
I just kind of pulled that out of... I don't know where that came from. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
This is a Greetings! I hope I didn't even hang on, where's my... There it is. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Oh, come on, phone. I'm like trying to keep the thing awake, it just keeps falling asleep. Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? It threw me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least.
Oh,
Fangirling ensues, I think. If I remember right. How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining.
have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. See, he has it all wrong. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now you travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too.
He literally looks like, actually.
No, that's not him.
No.
It's somebody
Those are
else.
just goggles.
That's, yeah, that's his fancy, schmancy, goggly thingies.
He looks cool, though.
He is the worst freaking detective ever, but the funniest character all at the same time.
Oh, wait till you meet Detective Dick Gumshoe. And yes, his name is Dick.
Yes, I'm sure it's
You
short
think
for like
I
Richard or something.
Democrats-
No, I'm just saying, yes, his name is Dick. And everyone calls him that first. They're like Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, I believe
Dick,
that summarizes
here.
the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just dots as in astonishment of everything being false. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. I'm waiting for her to pick up on this.
So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama.
What?
And you're plotting a revolution, too. I'm clearly a dumbass. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked.
No, listen, there's no way on the floor. Again.
Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous.
How could you do it?
I'm waiting for him for Ryunosuke to be like, do you realize I'm not Russian? For pity's sake, open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary! Obviously!
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I right or not right? Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So I'm not really sure what you could call it a deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. There we go, the goggles are off. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women all the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes.
So, really you?
See, the fangirling. The fangirling. The very same. I don't even know what that word means. I don't even know
Inimitable.
Inimitable. What the heck is that?
Inimitable. Hold on, I'm looking it up.
The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san?
Inimitable, defying imitation, matchless. So unique.
Well, he certainly is that.
It's just another word for unique. That's about it.
I might swap it out just because that's easier to say.
Well done, Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. Obviously,
what planet have I been living on then?
We must ask him what he's deduced.
Let me go get food. I'm gonna put it on autoplay for a sec.
He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure.
Hey, Marshy.
Of course it stops.
What? I told it autoplay.
They were done talking.
Oh my lord. Oh, that's because you have to go into converse. Okay. Now I can get food. And by that, I mean I'm gonna grab my... Hi, Marshmallow. Would you like to come with me? My room. Hi, girl. Ah, claws.
Claws.
Stop! Rabbits have claws!
Oh yes,
I know they do.
magazine full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. They never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially.
I think the autoplay turned off.
Marshmallow, stay put for a second.
I'm gonna stare at you intensely. As we wait.
Intensely and menacingly.
Okay. Sorry, I have claws, girl. Girl.
He's just
That's
standing there.
No, she's climbing.
That's surprising. They're on their way already.
Yeah, I know. It's rather early, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Huh.
So you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference? Inference? He's making things up. Well, is backward. Backward? Marshy. My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London.
No.
Not?
Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him?
Just wait. It gets worse.
Who's gonna tell him?
Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy as of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved a mystery of the first royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not.
No.
No, absolutely not. Right, Marshy?
Never.
Yeah, licks. Yes, happy girl.
It's literally that meme of are you /RS RSS
SRS. SRS,
Yeah.
not RSS.
SRS.
Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. Girl, hey, you can't be knocking my headset off. Yeah.
A science? Science!
Really? I had a rabbit in my face. The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deduction from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is without fail the truth. Except oftentimes, so there's the dance of deduction and stuff that you do with this character. So like, he goes around and points things out and then you have to correct him afterwards. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? Bun. So you see, I have a turn for both observation and deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh boy. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Ah, I see. In other words... Ah! Marshy! Marshy! Right? I'm in these now because of him.
I became anxious about Cosmosima this morning. I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among the number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Happen. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? Yeah, as you talk to people, it'll constantly change. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please, what 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes, but first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. No, that's... No, because it's...
Elucidate?
Elucidate?
Elucidate. I'm guessing
Sorry,
so.
guys. I'm a... what's the word? I can't think of the word. Incapable of reading. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. The victim was Russian and killed... The victim was Russian! And killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe.
Did you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
Yeah, Marsha, you think so? Okay, girl. Okay, bun. In the final moments, many find their native tongue fill in their head, but this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Garderob might be the name of a killer, but a certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interests of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least.
Where you found Mr. Naruhodo, sleeping soundly.
Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I don't think this guy's ever seen a Japanese person in his life.
No, I don't think he has.
Marshy? Marshmallow! Where are you going, Rabbit? Just sit there. I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquaintanced. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. She's just buying into it. Oh my
Is
gosh.
school uniforms a traditional dress for the Russian people? I had no idea.
And I had no idea the detective could get something so wrong. Hang on, I'm putting Marshy down. Girl.
You're alright.
I can't have you climbing on me. Don't kick the microphone. Yeah, it licks. Okay. I tell her she can't kick the microphone and she licks my nose.
I had no idea a detective could get
Oh, that was me.
Oh, that's you.
That's me, I already said that. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Dead. Well, that's kind of how that works. You only see a person dead once.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo-san?
Oh, yes, thank you. Hey! We have a thing now. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all of that? Ah yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian? Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was more the other details I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Ah yes, the more sordid details. It was fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, "Ah, he shows up later. Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai." Either that guy or someone that looks just like him shows up as a juror in the game at one point and squishes mice. He's got like some mice that sit at the juror stand with him, or seat, and he squishes one of them. I don't know why. He just does. It's one of his animations. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian?
Like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma wrote on the floor. Again, that could just, be the murderer writing it. But, I deduce from the previous games.
Right. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. Okay, Sholmes, look at the picture in the newspaper, look at the character that I play, or that the player is.
Yeah, look at the protagonist.
Look at the protagonist versus the picture in the newspaper. They look nothing alike. For one, Ryunosuke doesn't even have a beard. That guy has a thick beard. The one who would kill every man who helped him, or the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Villain Bolshevik. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face, see? The character says it after I do. It's like we've got telepathic through video game. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learnt to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I must stow away.
What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination blowing up the tower?
Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all of those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder?
And what about the part where you just said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has really recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is that anyway? This Afghanistan place. Dalton, shut up and let me have my popcorn.
Sis.
Mhm.
I can't. It's not ringing through my mind. What's that? One German dish that we have? It's usually pork that I made a couple weeks ago, a month ago. That I made from scratch.
Or
Here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of this great production.
know.
Thank you.
It's German.
German. I said German. It says German.
You
I've
said
absorbed-
Russian.
Oh, apologies.
I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. So he's giving us the newspaper because he can't find a trash can. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to just glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Before we started talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Kazuma. Ah, yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. The notebook. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. So you can figure out he's Japanese. Okay. So, wow. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a sort of takedown is. Misada-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Nohara-san. What on earth do you mean?
Bruh! Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim, it would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, Mikado, nado. I trust that you were suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before then?
If you would be so kind to show me, I would happily read it for you, for Mr. Sholmes.
Raw. Popcorn. I'm much
Water.
obliged, my dear madam. No, I was eating popcorn.
Sorry, I was finishing my water. Pardon me. That was actually my water cup. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. The second sentence reads, The protagonist did it.
It'd be Gozen Ichiji Niju. No. I'd have to brush up on my timing, my time stuff. Oh, whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, what? At 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilation grill.
A speckled band. What on earth does that mean?
No idea? I've never heard that expression before. Hold on.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin.
I'm gonna let the dogs out really quick.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
if Susato's saying anything, oh, she literally just texts.
Nope, that's Schultz.
10 minutes.